in Colombia.
Let's
Hi
do
there,
it.
Charlie.
Hi. Do you know how to do merengue? Do you know merengue?
The dance?
The merengue. That's from
Yeah.
Colombia.
Oh, yes. Well, I've tried to learn it, but I am not a great dancer of Latin dances. So
So there's not going to be any demonstration on today's Travel Talk
I
Tuesday?
can go like this. That's about it.
That was
So,
amazing.
thank you. I work so hard. So, in the meantime, by the way, go ahead and scan the QR code up in the corner, and you can enter to win our quarterly contest. This quarter, we're giving away an amazing Oceania luxury cruise to Alaska. So, please enter to win. And follow us everywhere. We are on every social network that you could possibly want. And today we are streaming across many networks. We're on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. And if you put hashtag Travel Talk Tuesday on any of our streams in your comment, we will give you a $50 gift certificate towards any Charlie the Traveler tour that you book through my agency anywhere in the world. Okay, so let's get started.
You know, with your hair, honestly, if somebody did, they would have thought you're Shakira's sister or something, you know? It's just,
It's not that big.
and for those who don't know, Shakira is from Colombia.
I think I've seen a statue to Shakira somewhere that wasn't Colombia. Are you sure she's from there?
Well, she's half Lebanese. That's on her
Ah,
father's side, but she was born in Cali, the very south of
ah.
Colombia. It's not much of a tourist destination, but for people who like dancing and as some of the best teachers for dancing, it's down in Cali. So that's more of a special interest
Ah,
destination than mainstream one. But um,
yes. And I do know some fabulous musicians who are from there as well.
oh wow, all
Yes,
right, cool.
Colombia is just filled with talented people.
And it is very different from yesteryear
Mm,
in a good way.
yeah.
Um, there's some people who remember the days of the killings out on the street in Medellin
Mm,
and stuff like that.
yeah,
And it is nothing like that anymore. It doesn't mean that crime doesn't exist, but I
right.
would say that it's no more prevalent there than anywhere else in Latin America. Um,
And
I
they've
mean,
tried really hard to become a big tourist destination. They're very focused on it and cleaning up the act.
well, in Medellin, for example, we're going to go through all this
Mhm.
stuff, but in
Okay.
Medellin, they have turned that whole area, whether it was just nonstop killings back in the day
Mm.
with the different gangs, they have turned that into an open air museum. So, like, it's
Ah.
an area now, and you've got bands that go there and they sing, they perform, they talk about peace.
Mm.
You're actually doing a tour and going into the homes where they used to shoot into. But it's very safe now. I mean, it has become a um, I mean, I don't want to call it a tourist attraction because it's a sad thing that happened, but
Yeah.
it is something that people are doing as part of a tour,
Hmm.
uh, and they have really cleaned those places up. I mean, when I was there last, I was playing football or soccer, how you want to call it, with some kid who actually just roasted me in that same neighborhood where
Ah.
all the violence was and stuff, and like we're playing soccer there and there's bands playing and I started dancing with them and I went into the homes. They even showed me the mattresses
Oh, wow.
that people were shooting through back in the day because they saved these just for
Huh.
displays, like an exhibit type of thing.
Huh.
Uh,
That's crazy.
yeah, and that's a small piece of a very large puzzle that we call Colombia. It is an incredible destination. One of my favorite countries in Latin America, along with Brazil. I would
Mm.
say Argentina, Brazil, and Colombia are my three favorites. The other ones are gorgeous too, obviously. I mean, Peru with its food and
Yeah.
whatnot. Colombia, it's just cool. It's a cool place to be.
Mm.
Very fashionable. The music, the food, and the destinations. And we'll talk about them right now.
Okay, that sounds great. I actually have never been to Colombia. I had to make a choice. I was either going to go to Peru and Machu Picchu or go to Colombia, and I ended up choosing Peru, which I think was a great choice. But I wish I had a chance to see Colombia as well.
Yeah, you did nothing wrong there. I mean, Peru is it's another gorgeous one.
Yeah.
Um, and that country also has improved so much in terms of tourist infrastructure and just cleaning
Yes.
up their act in general. I mean, their restaurants. So a lot of these Latin American countries, we've seen the same thing where back in the day, it used to be restaurants a little bit dirty, a little
Hmm.
bit just mom and pop with, somebody just kind of coming in the bag. He's kind of got like a bunch of wrinkles on his face and he's just cooking and stuff. It's not like that anymore. I mean, now it's very fashionable restaurants, um, a lot of like fusion cuisine, a lot of just fashion and passion and first class in so many ways. So,
So let's talk about logistics. I guess for those of you who don't listen to us every week, the way that Charlie runs his tours is you can leave on any day that you'd like, and then we arrange the tour, whether it's private or shared. It might be private some days, shared some days. And sometimes we have to do certain things to get to a certain location on a certain day. So that changes the infrastructure a little bit. But the reason that I love Charlie's tours is that it's very flexible. It's what you want. We make it around your needs. So with Colombia, do we have any restrictions on anything?
the ideal time to visit is November through April. However, you can visit anytime you like. I have been there during that season. I've also been off season. For me, both are good.
Mm,
It's just one's a little bit drier, one's a little bit wetter. You can have fun either way. Um,
okay.
we have you flying into one city and flying out of another.
Okay.
Um, it used to work differently, but a very important flight um, internally doesn't exist anymore. So we had to kind of
Ah,
redo the whole thing. So most people are going to be flying into either Bogota or Medellin, one of the two.
okay.
Um, and from there, you're going to need to get your luggage and check into another flight, which is very short, and
Mm,
that is to Santa Marta. So myself or you, Laney, or anybody who
yeah.
work with us, we can help people figure out the exact flights that are needed.
Hmm.
It's not common sense, but it is as easy as just looking at it and buying it. But ultimately, we want to get you to the Caribbean town of Santa Marta, which is in the north. And
Okay.
that's what happens on day one. You can arrive at any time. Obviously, though, the sooner you arrive, the better, because there are some like relics of historic architecture. Um, and we give you a little tour of what's over there, some of the old churches and streets and whatnot. But the two best things about it is one, it serves as a base from which to make a very important day trip on day two.
Mm.
And otherwise, it's got some really good nightlife.
Ah, okay.
Um, yeah,
And
yeah. So,
Latin nightlife is amazing.
yeah, I mean, some people say, you know what, I'm not the nightlife type of person. You go to Colombia, you got to change because you go to certain countries for certain reasons, right? Um, if you may not be a history buff, but if you go to a country like Uzbekistan, obviously you're going to want to read some history because you're looking at very old buildings and stuff like that, right?
Right.
If you go into Costa Rica, you may not be an outdoor enthusiast, but you're there. I mean, that's what it's known for. So make the most of
Right.
it, right? That's why you're
Hmm.
Colombia. It's got a lot of beautiful cities and nature and all this, but music, dancing, nightlife is very much a part of the overall experience. Embrace it, even if that's not what you're typically doing on
Right.
your day to day life.
It's the same as going to Spain and not seeing a flamenco show. There are just certain things you do when you're in certain countries to enjoy their culture and take part in it.
Indeed. And Santa Marta is no exception to that rule.
Hmm.
So you'll check out the nightlife over there. It's cool. It's definitely cool. And the next day, we will first start off with that day trip from Santa Marta to a park called Tayrona. It's a national park over there.
Mm.
Upon arrival, you're with your tour guide, and you'll go on a horseback ride, and
Mm.
you'll go through this whole area, and you'll finally get to the famous beach. This is the most famous beach in all of Colombia, and
Mm.
it's just got this gorgeous viewpoint, and it's got like this landscape, this formation of the beach and everything else that just is postcard perfect. Um,
Is there any other way to get to the beach other than horseback?
you can walk it, but the horseback
Mm,
is really pretty.
yeah. Oh, I
Uh,
love horses. I am
yeah,
all for horseback riding.
yeah, it is definitely a part of experience because, yeah, we're taking you Santa Marta to the startup point where the horse is. Then we've gotten you to the beach.
Mm.
Now you're enjoying this beautiful beach, and then no less entertaining is the boat ride back to Santa Marta. Because so you've now
Ah.
gone from Santa Marta to this national park by land and horse. To get back to Santa Marta, you're going by boat.
Ah, okay.
All right. Um, don't bring a backpack, bring a waterproof backpack, and we tell
Hmm.
people this in an itinerary letter that we send them
Right.
4 days before the tour began, because you are going to get sprayed. You're going to get sprayed real bad. Um, the guy honestly thinks he's like a Grand Prix champion when he drives that boat, and he's just like he's proud. I mean, and that thing is flying. It's a big boat, so you think like, okay, we're gonna. No, 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 no. This dude is just straight up like race. Um, so yeah, that's what it's beautiful. So I mean, you're going right along the coastline, so you're seeing beautiful stuff, and
Right.
as you're doing it, just right in your face. So
So
um,
when you're in the on the beach, do the horses go in the water with you, or it's not a water ride? Okay.
no, there's some other countries where they have that sort of
Hmm.
thing, parts of Indonesia and elsewhere.
Yeah.
Um, but no, this one just gets you there, and then they will take the horses back. There's actually a lot of people that will take the horses back to the start point, and then
Ah,
they'll use land to get back to Santa Marta. But we think it's funner to go one way and then come back a different way.
yeah, totally. But those of you who might be seasick prone, it sounds like this is one of those rides that you should get a patch or be prepared for.
Or if it's really inconvenient for you, or if you got like this health issue, just let us know, and we can bring you back the same way we take you.
Right.
Um, so, we do have options for people who need it. Um, but for those who don't get bothered by fast boat rides, it's a lot of fun. It's 1 hour of fun, basically.
Wow, that's a long ride. It takes an hour to get there.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Okay.
Um, now, once you've gotten back to Santa Marta, we've actually taken your luggage, and we will get you on a nice bus to the colonial city of Cartagena. So on the second evening, you're actually sleeping in Cartagena.
Ah, okay.
This is an 11-day tour. However, because this is a private tour, and by the way, we need a two-person minimum for this tour, unlike
Mm.
most of our other tours. Some people say, hey, it's a private tour. Can you give us another day just to do nothing? And we do it. The only thing that you get charged for is the additional lodging. There's nothing else that we charge for. So it is
Mm.
common that people will ask for just an extra day in Santa Marta to just either get used to the time difference or just relax or whatever. But for people who are a little bit tight on time and they only
Hmm.
have those 11 days for Colombia, on that second evening, we are relocating by a nice bus ride to Cartagena, which is one of the prettiest colonial
Mm.
cities in all of Latin America. It's a very famous one.
So when you say that it's a two-person minimum, I just want to explain to people that you can pay for two people and just be one person and go. So you don't have to have two people, but you're going to be paying for two people.
Essentially, yeah. Um, it's a lot of private vehicles, a lot of private all this kind of stuff with tour guides and all that. So, yeah, we generally have to put like a two-person minimum on this thing. But yeah, if you're a solo traveler, we can still make it happen. Um, so now with Cartagena, you've gone there in the evening. It's well illuminated. In the
Mm.
evening, you're going to love it. It's got beautiful colonial streets and squares and cathedrals, lots and lots of history. That's what
Mm.
that place is like. So on the third day, we will make a day trip from Cartagena to this volcano called El Totumo. El
Mm.
Totumo. It's it almost looks fake, to be honest with you. When I was there, like, is this thing real? Because it's just this like standalone volcano, and
Mm.
there's a mud pool inside of it, and this is all real.
How do you
It's
get
all,
inside it?
they have stairs, like they just
From the top down into it?
from the bottom up.
Oh,
It's not a big volcano. It's a small one. I mean, relatively small. I mean, it's small compared to these huge, ones with calderas and all that. But I mean, I mean, it's big enough to where, I mean, you're putting 20 or 30 people inside the mud pool, but
mm.
you're getting inside the volcano and you
Wow.
say, what do you want me to do here? Like, I just walked up these steps. Well, you're getting inside the mud pool, and it's got all these rich minerals and whatnot.
Mm.
And you get inside there, it feels good, and you get scrubbed.
Oh, it's like a mud bath
A mud bath. There you go. Inside a volcano.
inside a volcano. So
Yes.
one of our listeners on Instagram said that they've heard that Cartagena is the most romantic city in Latin America.
It is definitely one of them. Yeah. Cusco, Quito,
Mm.
Buenos Aires, Ouro Preto, in Brazil, Rio, Salvador, Cartagena. These are the big name attractions in Latin America. And
Mm.
Cartagena used to be the number one tourist destination in all of the country
Hmm.
because it is the prettiest city. In recent years, Medellin has surpassed it in
Huh?
tourism, which is crazy because Medellin back in the day had one of the highest homicide rates in the world. So who
Oh,
would have ever
wow.
thought that would have become the number one tourist destination in Colombia? They've really cleaned up their act really well.
Maybe that's why, though. They all want to go on that tour.
So we're still on day three. We're doing that day trip from Cartagena to El Totumo volcano.
Mm.
You're getting scrubbed by a local expert over there, local worker, we'll call it. And it's funny because when I was there, I mean, I have great photos of this where they're like taking my head and they're literally shoving it all the way down.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
So
make sure you get close.
is it like a Turkish bath, how they bathe you?
Uh, no, Turkish bath, they hit you. I mean, they
Yeah.
hit you good. They here it's more, it's a little bit more like the way they're dancing. You know what I mean? Oh,
Uh,
suave, they're suave. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, so how do you like Colombia? Oh, okay, yeah, it's that kind of thing. But no, it is a good
okay.
scrub. I mean, it's a real scrub, and they're exfoliating you,
Mm.
um, and it's a real professional scrubbing that they do, and it's just a lot of talk. They love to talk. Everybody talks over there. Nobody's quiet. If you see a Latin person over there who's like not talking, he's probably a tourist. Um, so that's just what it's like with
Mm.
Colombian people.
All
So
right.
um, after doing the mud bath, you're washed down, and then after getting washed down, you return to Cartagena. You obviously have a separate change of clothes, and we then start touring Cartagena. You have a private tour guide,
Wow.
an English-speaking government licensed tour guide, who's showing you all the beautiful balconies and the alleyways
Mm.
and the cafes and all restaurants and all this kind of stuff. There is a very specific restaurant in Cartagena and in Bogota that I encourage people to go to. I usually am not the type to tell people like, "Hey, I think you should go to this restaurant or that restaurant,"
Uh-huh.
because I don't want to get blamed if they end up not liking it. This one is an exception. It's called Andres Carne de Res.
Mm.
Um, you think like Cheesecake Factory is big, right? In America? No, no. Compared to this thing, Cheesecake Factory is nothing. This thing is huge, especially the one in Bogota. The
Mm.
one in Cartagena is a little bit smaller, but it's still huge. And it is one of the most artistic restaurants I've ever seen in my life. The
Mm.
artwork inside there, number one, is insane. On every single floor, it's like a museum. That's number one.
Ah.
Number two, the music is everywhere on every floor with a different band,
Oh, wow.
sometimes with fire shows.
Wow.
Okay. Different themes on every floor.
Huh.
The food is absolutely amazing. I honest to God, I didn't want to leave. The
Is it
restaurant,
like 100-page menu?
it's got a big menu for sure. This honestly, I would probably have to say this is the coolest restaurant I've ever been to in my life.
Wow, that
Yeah.
says a lot coming from you.
There's some really good ones. I like very decorative, like a palace-like restaurant I
Mm,
went to in Morocco, another palace-like one in Uzbekistan. So there's some really, but this one was just like what is going on? You know what I mean?
wow, cool.
So that was kind of what was going on there, and no regrets. I spent lots and lots of time there, and I, I wish I was there right now, to be honest with you.
It sounds really good. You're making me hungry. Every single show, I'm starving when we end.
If I lived there, I would be at that restaurant 3 times a week. That is, I
Mm,
could not get enough of that place. I've never been that entertained at a restaurant before. I've never
wow.
seen a restaurant that big before with that much music and that much and their food is delicious. It is utterly just amazing. So
So, do you take the tours there, or are you just giving them free time that they can do that?
we will give them a tour of the city, and then at the end of the day, we'll say we recommend that you. Well, we recommend you purchase lunch at 12 o'clock, but that specific restaurant doesn't get going until the later evening. So you
Mm,
finish your tour around 6, 7. Just kind of depends on the person.
right.
But let's say it ends around 6. We'll then say you have the rest of the evening to yourself, and we'll say, hey, there's this little restaurant that you may want to check out, um, and it'll blow your mind. And
Mm,
if that's not enough partying for you, when you get out of that restaurant and you're walking the streets of Cartagena, it's another party.
wow. Well, of
That,
course, it's Cartagena.
yeah, exactly. I mean, it is another huge, huge party destination, just the streets and everything else. So um, it's a good one. It's a good one. That's all I can tell you. Um,
So, do you make everybody get up early the next day?
not super early. They got a little bit of time. Um, we do spend a little bit more time on the 4th day exploring Cartagena some more because
Mm,
there's a lot to see there. There really is a lot to see. There's
mm.
cathedrals, there's squares, there's all kinds of stuff. Um, and that's what we'll do on that 4th day. So for the 3rd day, it's only like a partial day tour of Cartagena
Mm,
because more of the day is spent at that
at the
volcano.
volcano.
The On the 2nd day, you're arriving at Cartagena in the nighttime, so there's no real tour on that night. So
Mm,
it's the 4th day that we're really doing the the sightseeing, the guided walking tour and all this kind of stuff.
gotcha.
If people have, excuse me, if people have extra
Mm,
time, um, we provide the option of them making this 11-day tour a now 12-day tour by adding a day trip from Cartagena to the Rosario Islands.
mm,
The Rosario Islands, I wouldn't say there's something like so specific about them. Unlike like Tayrona, Tayrona is something very specific. Like, wow, this is something very distinct. Rosario Island, they're beautiful tropical islands.
mm.
Sometimes people just, hey, you know what? I want a day to do nothing. I just want to get on a boat, take me to some nice islands, swim a little bit, snorkel a little bit, eat something, and call it a day. Um, we give them that option.
And
Um,
if I'm recalling correctly, that's where they have like five-star resorts on these islands. Some people just go and hang out on the in the resorts on the islands. Is that correct?
yeah, but I would say
Okay.
more times than not, people just make a day trip from Cartagena
Mm, okay.
because otherwise you got to get all your luggage. You go there, you check in. It's okay. I mean, some people do that, but the majority of them will just say, you know what, I'm already staying at my nice hotel in Cartagena because we're using 5-star hotels
Right.
unless the area doesn't have a 5-star hotel. And in that case, we use one of the better hotels there, like a 4-star.
Mm.
Um, but in Cartagena specifically, we're using a 5-star hotel. People are happy with these hotels. They just make that day trip to the islands if they want that extra day, and they call it a day.
All right. Sounds
That's
good. Yeah.
that's how we do that one. Now, on the 5th day, we leave Cartagena and we relocate by flight to the city of Pereira.
Okay.
This is in the coffee zone
Mm,
Okay, that is another famous region of Colombia now, the whole
yeah.
coffee zone. Um,
I see
and
the
it's
donkey, the visual of the donkey with the in the coffee fields. I can't think of there's a coffee company that has that. I can't remember what
yeah,
brand.
I've seen similar, images, and there's a guy with a hat and a mustache, and kind of
Yes.
seems like one of the coffee plantation people ever. So you have your own escort driver guide who picks you up at the airport in Pereira, and you're taken immediately to this valley. It's called the Cocora Valley.
Mm.
I kind of smirk when I say that because I speak Greek, and that's a bad word in Greek. So if you call somebody a
Oh.
Cocora, so yeah, so they they actually have a sign of the Cocora Valley. So I'll give an easy translation. We'll call it the Valley of Idiots. We'll just say, and it's funny because it's got that big sign, and I took a photo and I sent it to my Greek friend, and I said, I'm in the Valley of Idiots over here. Um, but anyway, this particular valley, the Cocora Valley, they've got this gorgeous landscape, and it's got all these like artistic objects over there, like these flower displays. They put this artistic car over there.
Mm.
They've got like this hand statue. I've got a photo on it where like
Mm.
this hand's holding you up and you're sitting on the top of it. You take a photo. So it's a beautiful combination of Mother Nature and
Mm.
man's artwork at the same place.
Mm.
They did a really good job with it.
That's
Um,
cool.
and after having fun over there and taking photos, and you're going to want a lot of photos over there, we take you to this colonial town called Salento. Um, and then basically on that fifth day, we take you to Salento. You sleep over there.
Okay.
It's a nice place to be. It's definitely a nice little town to be and check out and walk around and all this kind of stuff. On the sixth day, we will first visit this coffee plantation over there.
Mm.
And of course, you're sampling some of the region's best coffees and all this kind of stuff. Um, and the guide speaks English, and he'll show you exactly how it's made and whatnot. You're then taken to the colonial town of Finlandia. Yes, it does have some relation to the country Finland. Um,
Oh, yes. Okay.
yeah, they have some of these names. They even have a town called Armenia, like for Armenia. I'm not really sure what the connection is, the relation is, but they do have some. Even Salento, that's with like Italy. So I'm
Mm.
not sure exactly how they did this thing, but
Hmm.
anyway, it's a colonial town called Finlandia. You provided with this guided tour, and it's got nice streets, and it's got a very stunning lookout point.
Mm.
Um, Nice place to take photos and all that. You're then taken to this thermal pool in a
Ah.
village called Thermales, which you can kind of figure it out. It's thermal, like
All
thermal
right.
pool or natural water and hot springs and all that.
Mm.
And you're relaxing in the warm waters. You have
Mm.
some time to enjoy that. I really like that place. I really,
Mm.
really like that place. And there's a waterfall there as well.
Mm.
It's a really easy place to meet people and talk to them. My Spanish is decent enough, so I could converse with them in Spanish. Um, Unless they work in the travel industry specifically, most of them there don't speak English.
Ah,
So
okay. Just
that's
in
just
this area of Colombia, not in the general entire country.
um, more so here they don't. In Bogota, you'll find more, but I wouldn't say that English is widespread in Colombia.
Mm. Ah, okay.
Um, and then the more rural areas, it's going to be even harder, like anywhere in the world.
Right.
Um, but anyway, on that sixth day,
Hmm.
at the end of the day, we have taken you back to that airport in Pereira where you flew in, and now you're flying to Bogota, which is the
Okay.
capital of the country.
Yeah.
Um, Now, Bogota, on the seventh day, we will make a day trip to this colonial town called Villa de Leyva. And it's really nice. It's got a huge square and all these old buildings from the Spanish times and whatnot.
Mm.
We then take you to, it's called the Salt Cathedral.
Oh,
and it's really a cathedral made with
made of
salt.
salt.
Yeah, serious.
Awesome.
Um, so, and Villa de Leyva is one of the prettiest of Colombia's small historic towns. There's another one called Barichara that's also cute,
Mm,
but that one's really far from everything, so we don't do that one unless people request it. But Villa de Leyva is a very cute town, and after exploring it on foot with your tour guide, going to that salt cathedral is really a contrast to pretty much everything you've done, not just for the day, but for the
uh-huh.
trip as a whole. Because it's an underground Roman Catholic
Ah,
church, and it's got tunnels, and um, yeah, I've
huh.
never seen anything like it.
So
Like
how does
it's,
the salt not melt? Or, you
uh,
know,
I don't know, and I'm not going to lie to you. um, but it's, I mean, I'm sure there's other components inside it as well to hold it up.
yeah.
But I mean, it's made with salt, not only of salt.
Okay. I mean, it's
Uh,
kind of like an ice bar. You don't know how the ice just doesn't disappear, but okay.
yeah. Um, and the design of it is very, very fascinating, really.
Hmm.
Now, day eight, um, we are basically checking out Bogota, the capital. We're exploring the city.
Hmm.
Now, I got to say this, the historic center is what you'd expect out of a Latin America historic center.
Hmm.
It's got the cathedral, it's got the square, um, it's got some like a couple side streets, and then there's some parts that are not as well preserved. There's some streets that are not as clean and that kind of thing.
Right.
Um, However, surprisingly, I thought when I went to Bogota that it was going to be for the historic stuff, and that would be the greatest charm, and then you call it a day. No, that is actually not the greatest part of the day. Although there's certain stuff like they have the gold museum,
Oh.
where you see like some of the best gold
Mm.
from the colonial era, and then you've also got this beautiful viewpoint called Montserrat. You get a
Mm.
nice view of the area. For me, the best part of the city is its wealthy neighborhoods, and like there's a place called like Zona T, for example. Zona T,
Hmm.
it puts Beverly Hills to shame. Okay,
Mm.
like this area was like wow. I mean, the
Huh.
shops, the restaurants, the bars, the coffee shops, the nightlife,
Hmm.
um, people dressing to impress over there.
Huh.
Um, it was a very pleasant surprise.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah. This was a very, very fashionable area, and we spent some time checking it out. Basically, Colombia's version of Beverly Hills.
Hmm. Wow.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Are they a bunch of expats or are they these
No,
are
the rich,
Colombian?
rich Colombians.
Okay.
Rich Colombians and young people who want to party too. I mean, just like in Beverly Hills, you're going to get a little bit of everything. But
Right.
yeah, you got people with money. You got people who just want to be seen and be where all the action is. And there's no shortage of pretty people there too. There's definitely a lot of attractive people. Colombia has some of the prettiest people I've ever seen anywhere. Um,
Well, Greece is one of the top ones too, so you grew up with the best.
well, thank you. Um, so yeah, you're not going to get bored over there in Bogota. Now on day nine, we will relocate by flight from Bogota to the city of Medellin, and I've spent a little bit of time
Ah,
talking about Medellin,
right.
right? Um, and you start exploring. Now, here's the weird thing about Medellin: if you just go to Google and you say Medellin, you type Medellin, and you start looking at photos, you're going to be like, this is not really that pretty of a city. Like, I don't get
Mm.
it. Like, why are people going there? And this was one of those things that I didn't learn right off the bat when I started traveling. There were certain, like when I first started traveling, it was just the aesthetic appeal.
Mm.
'Cause, I kind of went to Europe, so you look at a photo of a city like Paris or Amsterdam or whatever, and you look at photos and you see all these beautiful buildings and squares. You're like, oh, it's a pretty city. I got to go see it, right? And
Hmm.
then if you'd hear of a place and the photos didn't make it look that pretty, you're like, well, city doesn't look that pretty. Why do I want to go there? Right. So when you're younger and you just kind of understand things in real black and white terms like that, that's how
Mm.
you kind of draw your conclusions and make your decisions. And then I got a little bit older and I was like, well, wait a minute. Like, there's a different type of charm that isn't always captured on camera.
Right.
And I first learned that actually with Hanoi in Vietnam, because when I saw
Mm.
videos and photos, I was like, it's kind of like ugly. Like, well, I don't want to go. And then I actually
Yeah.
went there and I was like, now I understand why everybody loves this place.
Right.
Medellin is another one of those things.
Mm.
We take you on a cable car ride to this like lookout point. You see the downtown area, and there's churches and parks and street stalls and some historic buildings and whatnot. Um, but it's kind of about the people there.
Mm.
Like you'll be walking on the street, and when the cars are parked waiting for the light to turn green, like there's people in the middle of the street that are like dancing. Okay. Or like on the 10th day, you get into a bus because we take on a day trip. There
Mm.
are people who will get in the bus and they will just have their little like microphone and walking speaker and they'll start singing and rapping. Oh, they love rapping over there. They absolutely love rapping over there.
Mm.
So like you're just on the bus and they're just rapping and the rapping song, they're telling their life story, you
Ah.
know? And a lot of these people, by the way, are not even Colombians. They're Venezuelans
Ah. Okay.
who will kind of talk about their stories. It's hard to really see the difference.
Mm.
Um, they don't look so different from one another.
Right.
Um, Colombians and Venezuelans look similar. I could see the difference between, let's say, a Peruvian and Colombian. They look different from each other.
Mm.
But in any case, um, you are taken to all these areas where there's music and dancing and all this kind of stuff. Um, so
Mm.
that's why you end up really liking this area.
Okay.
These different areas of Medellin. Um, so after that, and checking out these different areas. And I had previously talked about the area we take you to, where it was one of the world's most dangerous neighborhoods.
Right.
Um, um, at the end of that day, we will take you to where all the nightlife is. Okay. And the nightlife is nuts. It is nuts. Okay. Man, it is just like, even if you're tired or whatever, we're going to take you through this thing and you're just going to be like, oh my Lord. Yeah.
But it's safe these
Yeah.
days.
Yeah. Because they actually have security. And before you get into the area, um, they check people's bags and all this kind of stuff. They got a lot of security throughout Colombia as a whole now,
Mm.
to be honest with you, trying to keep the country safe. They really want to go out of their way to protect tourists. So
Yeah.
the country has a good reputation and
Mm.
continues to have their tourism industry grow.
So is the nightlife, is this like an outdoor market kind of nightlife or bars or how do you describe it?
It goes on forever and ever, and it spills. It's like I mean, honestly, even if you didn't stop and like have a drink or sit down just to walk it takes a couple of hours
Oh, wow.
without
Wow.
stopping, without talking to people. Okay. So that just kind of gives you a visual of how much there is to see there.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a good one. And again, the bands that they have outside and the bars they have, all this stuff. It is for me, it's one of the in the world. It's one of the best places
Huh.
for nightlife.
Wow.
I think Cartagena is good. Bogota is really good. Santa Marta is good.
Mm.
Medellin is the best. Medellin is the cream of the crop
Wow.
for the
Okay.
nightlife in Colombia. Yeah.
And one of the great things about Charlie and his tours is that he really makes sure that you see everything there is to see in the country. He has been there, he maps it out, he makes sure that you've got all the highlights. So that's one of the reasons why I like to book Charlie's tours for my clients because he doesn't leave anything out. So it's for people who really want everything at a great value and yeah, I think you've got 5-star reviews from just about everybody online. My clients love him. Everybody raves about him. So I am all in.
And just to give you a little heads up on something, because I'd, you want to acknowledge that the elephant in the room type of thing. You will see prostitution
Okay.
um, in Medellin and Bogota and Cartagena. Bogota is probably the least amount from the major destinations we take you to. Cartagena a
Mm.
little bit more, and Medellin even more. Um,
Is it
but
legal there?
I don't know. I
Oh.
mean, it's very obvious.
Mm.
Um, it works a little bit differently than elsewhere in the world. Like in Thailand, for example, they will approach you, they'll touch you, and hi, how are you? Blah 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 blah. In Medellin, they don't really do that. They just kind of stand there, and they don't. You may have an exception, but generally speaking, they just stand there, and
Mm.
unless you say something, they're not going to really say anything. They just do their own thing, and you're doing
Mm.
it, but they're just standing there.
So it's not
Um,
like the red light district in Amsterdam or
where they're like dancing for you and all. No,
no.
no, no, no.
Okay. Mm.
Yeah, they're not really entertaining you out on the street. They're just, I'm here, I'm going to do my thing unless you approach me. I
Mm.
obviously discourage people from getting involved with all that kind of stuff. Um, just when you do hear of stories of crime, it usually has to do with this.
Mm.
Um, because these people, they could have other agendas as well,
Right.
robbery or whatever. So, just don't get involved in that kind of stuff, and you're going to have a perfect time. None of our customers have ever had any problems, thank God, until now. Everything's been nice and smooth. We haven't had any bad experiences. So just don't get yourself into trouble, and you should be
Yeah.
fine. That's all.
And I give the same advice I give to everybody going to anywhere in the world. You're in a city that obviously will have some bad elements. So you have a buddy system, watch your drink, don't let people get you drunk. There's just a wise way to be in other people's big cities.
Exactly. Exactly. So on the 10th day now, after all this crazy nightlife and blah blah blah, um, you're going to make a day trip with your tour guide from Medellin to the colonial town of Guatapé. You're going to be using one of those just nice buses to get there, and that's where I was telling you earlier that these people get on the buses, they start
Ah.
rapping and telling their life story. If you don't speak Spanish, then it may just be a little bit annoying for you, but for myself who understands it, um, it was interesting. You know what I mean? Like you kind of got the chronology of what kind of happened, and all. It's fascinating. You're like, man, like
Mm.
you've made a job out of wrapping your life story to passengers on a bus. Um, and then some other people, they'll get on there, and then they're like comedians, and they'll go and tell jokes on this thing. And you're just like, dude, does this ever end? Like it just keeps on going. Um, but anyway, you've gotten now to the colonial town of Guatapé. There's a really nice restaurant right when you arrive. And then there's a nearby natural attraction. It's called Piedra del Peñol. And it's just this big old rock. It's a big old rock. Um, and you have a couple of ways of getting up it when you can walk it. They actually have steps chiseled right into the rock to get you all the way to the top.
Mm.
But for most of our customers, we do a flight sing tour over the
Oh.
giant rock. I wouldn't say that the views are so different between walking to the top and standing on top of the rock and looking
Mm.
at the surroundings. It really is beautiful with all the little islets and stuff and this beautiful water.
Mm.
So seeing that by helicopter or by just walking all the way to the top, I wouldn't say it's so different. But some people just don't want to do that walk all the way up to the top. So that's why
Right.
by default we offer that flight seeing tour.
So
And
it's
so
a helicopter flight scene.
yeah, a helicopter flight seeing
Okay.
tour, and you see the calm waters and islets and all this kind of stuff.
Mm.
We then get back to town. We give you a little tour of Guatapé town, the
Mm.
colonial town. You then get back to Medellin, and you're provided with a second nightlife tour. But this area is different from the area we take you on in night
Mm.
nine. We're not going to the same places. We're going to a whole different area that's going to again blow your mind with a whole different thing.
Hmm.
So now, for people who say, you know what, I just want to go to my hotel room, you're not going to get any strikes against you. It's not like you're going to get a bad report card or something. It's okay, but we want to offer you more, and if you want less, we can always take it away.
Mhm.
But we don't want by default to offer you less, and then somebody says, "Hey, you know what? There was this really important thing, and now there's that, and you didn't give it to us." We never want to be
Right.
that company. We cover these countries more comprehensively than any company on the planet. That may
Absolutely.
be the first reason why Charlie the Traveler exists. Of course, the
Yeah.
reviews obviously help. We need those, and we all need reviews, and the customer service and all this. But just the engineering behind our itineraries comes with so much precision that
Yeah.
people are like, you know what? Yeah, we've went elsewhere. We can't find any itinerary that's covering as many must-see places and has so many must-do activities as you
Yeah.
guys.
You
That
definitely have a niche that nobody else does what you do in this industry. And for a great price. So what are we talking for this? This is a 10 night, you said 10 night tour?
this is a 11 day.
11 day. Well, that's the same as 10 nights.
Yes. Well, well, I finished work at 5 o'clock in the morning. Leave me alone.
Okay, that's fine.
Uh,
So you're my third webinar of the day. No, actually just the second, but I'm losing my voice. So, so what's our pricing for this?
all right, this one I have to look it up. Let me see here. Um, this one per person
Mhm.
is 3,638. That's per person. That comes with the luxury hotels. Um, and yeah, again, we just need that two-person minimum, but 3638 with the five-star
And
hotels.
it's mostly private, or it's a combination shared private.
It is mostly private. Um, the parts that are shared, like if you want to add the Rosario Islands,
Mm,
obviously you're going to experience that with other travelers. That boat that goes from Santa Marta, remember Tayrona to Santa Marta?
right.
Yeah, that one you're going to be with other travelers. So things that involve boats are going to be with other passengers.
Right.
There's a couple bus rides that we take. We'd give you the example from Santa Marta to Cartagena, and then also from Medellin to Guatape and back. So there's going to be other people on those buses, but otherwise it's a private tour.
And
I
this
mean,
includes the air that your little air hops, right? Also,
uh,
the
this
the
price
internal.
This includes the flight scene tour over Guatape.
Mm.
It doesn't include the domestic flights. Those are
Ah,
relatively cheap, to be honest with you. But we don't like automatically including the domestic flights for Colombia because sometimes people book last minute, and something
mhm.
that can cost $70 will now go to like 180 because
Right.
you're trying to book it. So we try to get a lot of times they ask us to book on their behalf, and we do it, no problem. It's just
And
we
I
don't want.
always will book on your behalf.
Yeah,
But go ahead.
yeah. Go to Lanny; she'll take care of you there.
That's right.
So we'll do that, but that one we don't have the control of. So we
Mm.
usually keep out the domestic airfare. Like right now, we just got somebody, two people who want to do one of our tours, and they want to start in literally 72 hours.
Ah,
Um, if I included the domestic flights, the numbers would be off because
yeah,
you usually should book that at least what 3 weeks in advance, for I don't know, not
at
like
least.
72 hours beforehand.
No. But I'm happy to take last minute clients too. So if you want to go in next week, I will make it happen.
That's why you're cool, girl. Uh, yeah, so for Colombia, you do need a combination of domestic flights, some boat rides, a couple bus rides, and
Yeah.
lots of private tour guides, and in some areas, private cars too. We
Yeah.
kind of close you in that whole coffee access area. Um, the meals are relatively affordable in Colombia.
Mm.
Very good value. Very, very good value country. Um,
And that's a great price. The 3,600 or so that you said. That's a great price for a 10 night or a 10 day. What did we say? 11 day, 10 night tour.
you said 10 nights, I said 11 days.
11 days.
Tomato, tomato.
Yes,
Uh,
I think that's excellent. So, Yeah, that's the same as your value across the world. I think that I've never had anybody complain about your pricing. Your pricing is amazing for what you give people. And